President Carter eulogized Jesse Owens today, saying perhaps no athlete better symbolized the human struggle against tyranny, poverty, and racial bigotry. The 66-year-old Owens died of lung cancer this morning in Tucson, Arizona. The grandson of slaves, he raced into the record books as the world's fastest human. Ultimately, all Jesse Owens' track records fell, but because of a few imperishable moments in Germany more than 4 decades ago, his name stood for something more important than the record book. Ray Gandolf explains.
The images of Jesse Owens at the Berlin Olympics of 1936 are engraved forever in this country's collective memory. He was the hero. Adolf Hitler was the villain. Nazi Germany would soon become the enemy in fact as well as ideologically. And Owens won 4 gold medals in a relay, here in the 200-meter run, in the 100 meters, where he beat his teammate, the late Ralph Metcalf, by inches, and the running broad jump, where he leaped nearly 26.5 feet. And Adolf Hitler refused to shake his hand. Indeed, Hitler greeted no athletes rather than suffer the embarrassment of having to snub blacks. He had made the Olympics a propaganda forum for Aryan superiority. The son of an Alabama sharecropper had showed him up. Years later, Owens remembered it vividly.
When we arrived there, we noticed all the brown shirts, shoulder to shoulder, and of course, the eerie sound of Heil Hitler, and thousands of people standing, arm extended. And you listen to this, and you know that something is going on. But in the meantime, in the back of your mind, you know what you're there for. When one can stand and look at the uniform in which he wears, and he is going to be able to project the image of his nation, as we tried to do in 1936, you shut out your mind of the political situation and go and do the job that you were sent there to do, or you came to do, and that was to run.
Owens could surely run. Before the Olympics, competing for Ohio State, he already had established himself as the world's fastest human. He owned 3 world records. Owens and his contemporary Joe Louis were the first truly national black sports heroes, idolized by whites as well as blacks. But Owens' peak came early and was never approached again. Oh, he was given a royal welcome home from Berlin by New York City's Mayor LaGuardia, received the mandatory ticker tape parade. Someone, he never found out who, thrust into his hands a paper bag in which he later discovered $10,000. That was all he made directly from the Olympics, but his triumph shaped the rest of his life. For a while, he hustled money where he could, racing against thoroughbred horses and, given a handicap, winning. He tried vaudeville, he led a band, he went broke. A devoted family helped him through the lean years, and things began looking up. The gold medals began paying off. By 1964, when he was helping promote those Olympics, Owens had been in public relations work for some time, would later have his own company.
Canadian Olympic coins, good for the Olympics. Good.
By the time he was raising money for the '76 Olympics, Owens was firmly established as a kind of evangelist for sport, a moderate on racial matters who kept his distance from the racial troubles of the past 2 decades. He was described once as a professional good example. In 1951, Jesse Owens returned to Berlin to savor again the few days he would never forget.
You stand on the winner's platform. A laurel wreath is placed around your head. You receive a gold medal. You're given a little oak tree to plant. You are Olympic champion.
Ray Gandolf, CBS News, New York.